A Montreal law firm wants to take legal action against Tim Hortons. It's estimated about 500,000 customers across the country got emails claiming they'd won a boat and trailer. The emails, it turns out, were sent out in error. Now, Caroline, the law firm is applying to launch a class action suit.
Yes, and the lead plaintiff is a Montrealer. Now, the prize was valued at more than $60,000. So you can imagine the disappointment when these 500,000 estimated people received a subsequent email that it was sent to them by mistake without any mention of compensation. Michelle Starodub, a single mother, was one of the estimated 500,000 people who were initially sent an email that they were winners. Not believing it, she even went to a Tim Hortons to verify it was real and was told it was, with the manager high-fiving her. So here's how she reacted to the news. It was all a big mistake.
To go and find out, like, no, it's not real. It's like, it's kind of devastating. It's like, especially when you're going through some hard times too, like, and then you get this, like, I got this big rush of excitement, like, and I'm like, I never win anything. And I was excited and happy. And then to go and find out it's not real. It's kind of like a letdown, and disappointment. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I got my hopes up.
Now, she is now part of a Facebook group that was formed with many sharing their disappointment and frustration with the multinational. Tim Hortons later explaining, unfortunately, there was a human error that resulted in some guests receiving some incorrect information. But one person approached lawyers here in Montreal to attempt a class action suit on behalf of those affected. And lawyer Joey Zukran says, given this is not the first time Tim Hortons has had a problem with a contest, he thinks the case has merit.
If it happened last year and they didn't find a way to put safeguards in place to ensure that it doesn't happen again, they are now negligent. Second, under Quebec consumer protection laws, they've actually made a written representation and they're bound by it. And there's no way out of that. And if they can try to plead human error and they can have their PR team come out over the weekend and say that the case has no merit as if they've been appointed judges of the Supreme Court of Canada on a Saturday morning. But unfortunately for them, error under Quebec law is under Quebec consumer law is an inexcusable error.
Now, as you heard there over the weekend, Tim Hortons said that they believe the case has no merit. A University of Ottawa professor says companies like Tim Hortons usually do have an escape clause in their contest rules and regulations in case of an IT problem, fraud, or cyber attack. But if this was more likely a case of negligence, some damages may be warranted. Starodub believes the company owes them much more than an apology for the disappointment and embarrassment they suffered telling people they won a boat. And Zukran says his client believes Tim Hortons owes him a boat and $10,000 in punitive damages. He filed an application on Friday and says it will take about a year to know if it'll go forward. Mitsumi.
Thanks very much, Caroline.